I have a relationship with God. I pray a lot, and I said, God, show me a sign. What should I do? I don't feel like going back to college yet. And I was walking through my church, and there was literally a sign. And it said, are you not sure what to do after college? Come join this church organization and teach English. I have to tell the world, because I've never said this on my channel, but I will admit this now on your channel. I have become a Polish citizen. So you're the normal one, and you're the abnormal one, right?
Yeah,
So
you're
it's
right.
not hard.
I think there's some Polish influence in the rules of baseball. Through Poland. Yeah.
Normalnie nienormalni.
Witamy Państwa w kolejnym odcinku podcastu Normalnie Nienormalni. Mamy dzisiaj wyjątkowego gościa z zagranicy, z Ameryki. I z tego powodu będziemy dzisiaj mówić językiem międzynarodowym używanym w Unii Europejskiej, czyli słabym angielskim.
Bad English.
Bad English.
Universal language for us.
Hello, John.
It's nice to be here. How are you?
Thank you for accepting our invitation.
My pleasure.
It's not every day that you see foreigners in Poland.
True.
So since we had some ability to contact you, and you also you have your own YouTube channel.
Yes.
You talk about Poland, about stuff you like, you don't
I
like.
brag about Poland.
Yes, I was watching probably most of your videos.
Oh, thank you.
Thank God they are short, because if I would watch so many long formats, it would take a lot of time.
Did you notice last time a lot of thumbs down on every video?
Oh, that was him? Thanks a lot.
Okay, but maybe let's start from beginning. How did your because it's a big part of your life now that you spend in Poland.
Part.
So how did it happen that you came to Poland?
It's a long story, but I'll give you the short version. When I finished college, I did a double major. It means I had two focuses of studies. I studied aviation, I studied psychology. And I was so tired. Everybody was saying, go finish your master's degree. I said, not yet. I need to do like one summer. A lot of Americans do these kind of backpacking trips and things. Well, I have a relationship with God. I pray a lot. And I said, God, show me a sign. What should I do? I don't feel like going back to college yet. And I was walking through my church, and there was literally a sign. And it said, are you not sure what to do after college? Come join this church organization and teach English. I said, okay. I contacted them. They gave me 3 countries to choose from. Poland, Germany, Berlin, and Kazakhstan. I think the choice was pretty obvious. I went with Poland, and I applied for the job. The first job was in Gliwice, and they told me, sorry, the job's been filled. I was disappointed because I had my hopes up. I was going to come to Europe and see Poland especially. And they said, but hang on, we have a friend in Częstochowa, and he needs somebody to come teach English and work with him. So it was kind of a church job, but I had a little English club in Klub Filutek in Częstochowa. If anybody knows where Klub Filutek is.
The student club.
Yeah, the student club. And I started teaching there. I loved it. I fell in love with the city. I fell in love with the country, met a lot of good people. And I said, can I stay another year? I ended up staying almost 2 years working in that job before going back and doing my master's degree.
Okay.
Interesting, because I also met another guy from States, from Texas, Rick Schultz.
Yeah, Rick Schultz is my friend. We work together.
God. I met him on those in Studnia, those this coffee place where they were also giving the English classes.
So I have a feeling Rick Schultz might see this video. So hi, Rick. And yes,
Rick.
I'm with your friends here. Rick came to Poland about 3-4 months after I did. And we started working together. He was much better, and he is, I'm sure, a better teacher than I was and am. He's gifted. So yeah, Rick's my buddy.
Okay,
keep in
that's
touch.
small world.
It is a very small world.
Okay, and so you decided to stay. It's like
Yes.
When did you decide that this is the place?
What year it was?
It was October of 1999. That was the first time. It was supposed to be a 3-month kind of stay. So October, November, December. I went home for Christmas and really thought about it, really prayed, what should I do? And I talked to the guy. He already mentioned I could stay longer, but I officially asked him formally, can I stay another year? And we did the paperwork, and it was like that. So I think when I was back home for Christmas, I knew in my heart that I wanted to come back for a little bit longer, and I did.
Okay.
Everything was very smooth.
What was the first thing that made you want to come back here?
The first thing, a lot of people joke around, they say it was the girls, right? I said, no, it wasn't the girls. The girls were beautiful. But really, part of my job was being able to teach baseball. That's my passion. I love this sport. And a lot of guys from the neighborhood, we'd get together and play, and kind of had a dream of putting a team together. So I kept in touch with those guys. Obviously, I met a couple of nice girls as well. But it was a combination of meeting a lot of friends, liking what I did, and I still do that today. And I eventually married a Polish girl. So it all kind of came together. It was really all about. It was a combination of many factors.
Yeah, because for people that are gonna listen and watch us outside of your YouTube channel, you're also a teacher of English and the coach of
That's right.
baseball. Yeah,
that's right. 2 years ago, they asked me if I'd like to coach on the national team. So for the 15 and unders and 12 and unders, so I get to work with Kadra Narodowa, right? And that's a huge honor for me. But I'm also a coach for Rawa Katowice Baseball Club. I used to play for them in the senior league, so I really went as far as I could go in baseball, and I'm just loving it. My kids play for Rawa Katowice, all
three kids, yes?
Three. I have an almost 13-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a 6-year-old.
Oh,
they
so
all
close
play.
to age of my kids.
Yeah, good age, right?
Yeah.
Fun age.
Yeah, good age.
Yeah.
A lot of teams in every big country, for example, because actually I don't know any baseball player
In Poland.
There is,
Poland.
every big city has at least one baseball club. So, Warsaw has several. Katowice has a team. Rybnik, Żory. Teams are in Rzeszów. We have a team in Bydgoszcz, right? Poznań. So even Władysławowo has a team. My friend Greg is a coach there.
So
right?
it's growing.
It is growing. Slowly, but it's growing.
Yeah, just like American football. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A few years ago, no one cared about it. Now every bigger city has a team.
Yeah, I equally love American football. I don't have the right body size to play, right? But it's a fun sport too. Yeah, American football.
And about the baseball, about the coaches. Every coach of baseball is American guy?
No. There's actually a lot
It's a
of
must.
good, there's a lot of good Polish baseball coaches.
Yes.
I've had the honor to meet a lot of them, very knowledgeable coaches, right? Arek Żukowski, for example, and he's a coach down in Żory, so he does a great job with those guys, with those kids. So
Probably they need to have some experience in the USA, I think, because to get knowledge.
you know what? Most of them, I've asked them, have you ever been to the U.S.? Have you ever gotten experience? No. But a lot of American coaches come to Poland and do clinics. So physically they weren't there, but they have the training from a lot of good coaches that have visited Poland. So yeah, this country really, I just say this about being in Poland. Everyone talks about the American dream. Let's go to America, have the American house, the job, everything. I have the Polish dream. A lot of the dreams that I had as a kid before knowing I was going to live in Poland have come true in Poland. Poland has been, a wonderful kind of avenue for me to fulfill a lot of my dreams. So I'm happy about that.
Great.
I'm grateful to Poland for that. Yeah.
And you're here to stay.
I think so. Yeah. It's, we'll see what the future brings. I never say no. I never close the door 100% to going back to the U.S., especially when my kids decide to study. I have no idea where they're going to want to study.
Yeah, they might as well decide to study in States, for example. Yeah. Plus Texas, it's one of the states I would definitely like to visit.
Oh yeah, and it's such a big state that.
Yeah, because it's we think about very often like people talk about America, yeah, okay, but which state, yeah? Then you think about state, okay, the state is the size of countries.
It is
in Europe,
different.
Yeah.
It amazes me that Poland can fit into Texas almost 2 times.
Yeah.
Texas is massive, so depending on where you live, it's very different too. Even the accents vary in Texas. So my whole family, they are in Texas right now. My parents, my sister, brother-in-law, they have 3 sons as well. Everybody's in Texas. My brother will be moving there. So Texas is going to be our hub.
Yeah, I've heard that basically Texas and Florida are the 2 fastest growing states.
Yes.
Like a lot of people left California and New York and they are moving to Texas and Florida.
Yeah. California is beautiful too, but I think a lot of people disagree with some of the politics in California. Yeah. So things in America are constantly fluid and changing.
That's the beauty and curse of America, yeah.
Right.
One thing is it can never be good everywhere, but also can never be bad everywhere because every state is different. So you have this ability to move. Okay, I don't like this state. I'm moving to a different one.
You
speak the same language, use the same money. So the change is not that hard as in Europe. Yeah, because for example, if I would like to go to Germany, I don't speak English. It'd be much harder. The culture is much different. In states, it's probably easier. In Europe.
But it seems that, the longer I live here and the more I see the European Union and meet people who've been abroad, it's slowly kind of going in that U.S. direction of being, able. But the language is, that is an issue. It's a barrier, absolutely.
But soon you're going to have instant translations.
Right.
Yeah.
And that'll put me out of business, so hopefully not so soon. Right? I still need people to learn with me.
Just gonna have to focus on baseball and YouTube.
I think so, yeah. I'll keep doing it as long as I can. I really will.
Do you often travel back to Texas?
I was just in Texas, as a matter of fact, 1 month ago. I went there to actually help my parents move because they had been living in Tennessee for the last 20 years or so. And they decided to move near my sister in a little tiny town, Milano, Texas. So they built a house there at the age of 78. They have built a house and are moving to be near my sister.
Did they plant a tree?
They have definitely planted some trees. Yes, that's also something we have to do. And yeah, I believe they did. So Texas is home for me. It's my, I've set up my residence there. So if I ever need to go back, I'll have that. So I've kind of did this. We don't have it in the US, but in Polish you have this zameldowanie, right?
Yeah.
So I've registered my address in Texas as an American resident, right?
Yeah,
so I have that going back.
And what about your family? Did they visit you here?
Oh, very often. Yes.
Very often.
My parents, as a matter of fact, are going to be here at the beginning of August, and we are going to Turkey on an all-family holiday. So
I've heard that from a few friends that Turkey is amazing. Istanbul is a beautiful city.
Yeah, we'll be closer kind of to the west of Turkey, so not far from Rhodes. So it's going to be the green Turkey, the sliver of Turkey that's in Europe. So I'm excited to see that part.
I think for for Americans, you can take a Poland like a base for holidays.
Yeah.
Because for now to Turkey is like, 3,000 kilometers, something like that, maybe 2.5. And for you, just like a quick trip.
It really is.
Yeah,
it really is.
Used to much bigger difference.
Yeah, so just driving from Tennessee, when I was there a month ago, moving my parents to Texas, I couldn't believe 13 and a half hours, and it went by like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just 13 and a half hours is a normal trip for us.
Normal
it's
trip.
like driving.
For us, it's like a big holiday trip, like going to change borders. If you're driving that long, you're changing borders.
Yeah, you'd be, I think, from Częstochowa, 13 hours would put you past Paris on the way to Belgium, right?
Yeah, exactly. You go to few countries.
Yeah.
In America, it's like normal distance for, gas station or grocery.
Exactly right. It's bigger there, and driving in the USA, if we can talk about that, I think that's an interesting difference. In Poland, I love this country, but one of the challenges is driving here. You have got to have eyes all around the place. Even driving here today, there was an old elderly woman just crossing the street, not on the crosswalk, just taking her time to go out. Everybody stopped, let her cross. You just don't see that much in the US. It's very easy to drive in the US. Everybody's got automatic transmissions, just, right? Turn up the tunes. But in Poland, it's, there's an old man on a bike. You see him, I see the old guy. Okay, this is a triangle. You have to be very careful around the roundabout, right? Okay, we're doing well. It takes a lot more focus to drive safely in Poland. You have to watch everything.
But it's because more is happening, or the way the system is set up that some
it's because of the high of the fines of the police patrol. If there's nobody.
But there's one thing I didn't realize this for a long time, but in the United States we first build the roads and then we build the towns
around the roads,
around the roads that have already been built. Not always in the older areas, but in the newer areas. And here you have roads, pre-existing roads, right, where the towns were originally there. You had horse and carriage going around, so you've got a lot of twists and turns. It's not this grid system that we have in the US.
Yeah, the European cities were built before anyone ever thought about cars. So
precisely.
Poland is also not that bad because, like, if you go to older towns like in Portugal, then streets are so narrow that sometimes even one car cannot fit. Yeah, so they're just centers of the city which cannot just walk. Yeah, most of them are closed for cars.
The word is vigilant. You have to be vigilant. You have to watch everything. But I've learned to be a better driver thanks to Poland. So.
Keeps you sharp.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but actually, when I was younger, I also thought that something weird with Americans that you only use the automatic gearbox. I have two cars, one with automatic, one with manual. Why do we keep the manual? I don't know. It makes no sense, and especially in the city.
Right.
It's just constantly have to change something. You have to your hand occupied. Why do you suffer? Makes no sense.
It is really a good question. Why haven't automatic transmissions caught on like they did in the US, right?
I don't know. I don't know. Now, if I would buy another car, I would definitely look for one with automatic.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think with the advent of electric cars, we could put this whole automatic transmission, manual transmission to rest.
Yeah, because they're all
it's over. Yeah. I think we're going in that direction.
But if the electric cars are going to survive, it's also a big question mark.
Yeah, I think up next is hydrogen, right? That's what they're talking right now.
A lot of talk about that one. I don't know. I don't know enough to have my own opinion about it. I'm a fan of electric cars. Let's say if first of all, if it's going to be a free market, like you buy whatever you want to, and if, for example, like in my case, I have a house, I could charge at night,
Right.
drive it around the town in the city, and I have a second car that if I want to go for longer trips and not spend 3 hours charging in mid trip,
Right.
that makes perfect sense. Yeah, but all this idea of changing everything electric just makes no sense to me because the grid is not ready
Right.
for that. You wouldn't be able to charge them even. So
And you never know the waiting time is going to be an hour,
Exactly.
5 hours.
Yeah.
I've seen Teslas going around the road this way, and oh gosh, it's kind
and
of
imagine
scary.
cars that are actually transporting goods and they're gonna be stuck in the middle of the road waiting for someone to come with a diesel generator to charge them.
But now imagine every house having two cars. It's not so simple as well. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
With even more space. for it.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If it's gonna be like free market, you decide, and you have the possibility, then it makes sense if you're gonna be the car that you're gonna just use around the city. Because they make less noise,
Right.
less pollution, so it makes sense. Yeah, because even like this big road that you pass next to my house, the main one, the Warszawska,
Right.
it's always very noisy. So imagine if half of those cars were electric, then it would be much smaller.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it
But,
would be better for our environment,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It would
For
be.
the environment, especially in cities, yeah. 'Cause-
Yeah.
But you cannot push people to that because people
A
don't
lot
like
of
to.
children in your area, right? As well.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it'd be healthier for
that's
them.
what we like it, yeah. Because before we were living in Tysiąclecie, close to our flat, there was also a lot of kids, so we liked it. But this part is also because we wanted to live close to neighborhoods, so our kids can have other kids to play with.
I have to say, all the years I've been here, I've never seen this neighborhood. It's very nice. A lot of little houses around, right? Very well kept.
Because it used
maintained.
to be outside of Częstochowa, yeah? It's like the last addition to, let's say, was
This is
what
true
joined-
suburbia. True suburbia.
Yeah. Because
over
when I was growing up in Północ, so this part was like out of town for me
here. Yeah,
also.
far away.
Yeah, I never visited this part before I moved here.
Right.
You can say Częstochowa made with the wyczerpy the same what Russia with the Ukraine.
Annexed it. You'll be better off with us. Just come on. God.
So here's your choices.
That's actually the number one question I get when I was back in Texas. Everybody's, what's going on at your border? Are you safe? Is everything okay? Yes, it's far, far away from us, but there is a crazy dictator in Russia who we don't know what he's going to do next. Very unpredictable. So they're praying for me. They keep
Let
they're
them pray.
keeping our family in mind. So yeah, I do believe everything will be fine.
Let's hope we won't have to all move to Texas.
Right? Exactly.
Okay, so coming back to your, staying here, because probably I think a lot of people, I think it's normal. Yeah, when you live in a country, you don't see what people are from the outside are seeing. Yes, so something that is normal for us might be completely insane
Yes.
for the people from outside. So what are those things that when you came here, like, why?
Wow.
I bet there are those things.
Many of the episodes on my channel are exactly about that. Funny things, just kind of, there's a whole thing called Polish peculiarities, right? Things that are different and unique in Poland. Let me think. The first thing that would come to my mind, I think it's unique how so many people, it's changing now. People are using washers and dryers. Well, let me start this again. I just want to say dryers. People they don't use dryers here as much as we do in the US.
Yeah.
Everyone dries their clothes in a dryer. And we still haven't got a dryer. We go with the lines, right?
Yeah.
The clothes last longer, they smell better. But I really, when I rented my first apartment, my first flat, where's the dryer? And you talked about the electric system. A lot of those are not ready for the surge of electricity that dryers take, right?
This is also our first house that we have the electric dryer.
Oh,
Before
yeah.
it was also just wires.
Yeah,
Oh.
the smell is good. So that's, I think, one little thing. There are many, many differences. And even in the supermarkets, this one is something that I have to still get used to after all these years. I have my shopping cart. I'm going through the checkout. And it never fails. There's a little old lady behind me. She just rams that shopping cart into me. And I made a point about this. The distance is much different here, right? Between people.
The personal bubble is
Yeah,
smaller.
the personal space is limited. It is changing, though. Being here 20-something years, I see Poland making big progress there. But I think first on, that was something that people could get really close to your face and just talk to you. And you're like, okay. And you're just kind of backing up, right? It was kind of a difference there. I think Sunday dinner was something. We have Sunday dinner, right? We sit down, but the Polish Sunday dinner where you are served the same food every Sunday. schabowy, potatoes, right? Rosołek. It has to be. Today, before coming to you today, we had exactly that, right? So that Sunday dinner is something special, and it also caught my attention quickly. Wow, there's so many things that come to mind on that. If I can think of something more, I'll let you know. But
what would you import from Texas? What would you import to Poland from Texas? Like in terms of behavior, products, some solutions to problems.
You know what? I think that the first thing that would come to my mind is when I go to Texas, everything is big. Everybody has lots of space, right? 2 or 3 car garages in a house is standard. So it would be nice to see people kind of spread out more. I know driving and petrol is expensive, but I like the personal physical space that you have in homes, right?
Yeah.
I would also bring, if it's possible, the kind of technology that we use to build houses, right? I know we have heavy winters here. The climate's kind of changing, so maybe houses that can breathe a little bit better. You could build them a little bit bigger, right?
Yeah. I think it's basically space.
More space in Texas, right?
I would like that.
Yeah.
I think it could be imported here, actually, the technology, but people are very used to, their family standards, for example.
Yes.
Yeah, they need something stable, something from cement. From bricks,
They love those the houses are like bunkers here. They're really thick walls
because we have Russians,
Russians at least.
We don't have Russians. And California is far away, so
But I am a true Texan. I believe in having guns to protect your castle, right? The castle law. So that would be another nice thing to have. The ability being so spread out, the police can't be everywhere fast. There's an emergency, so the legal right to protect yourself.
Yes.
If somebody were to break in, try to harm your family, for you to be able to protect yourself using all means necessary would be something I'd like to see in Poland, especially with Russia next door.
Yeah, actually, I had a funny story that Rick told me.
Yeah.
That once he was in his home in Texas, and at night, and he heard that someone's trying to open his front door.
Yeah.
So he took a table, he put it, on the floor, and he took his shotgun and just shut the door. Yeah. The guys escaped. Then he called the police. Police came, and the police told him, next time, make sure that they enter your house, then we're just going to come pick up the bodies. Yeah? So it's going to be just... okay, they were invited, take them out.
I taught at university level here for 7 years at Akademia Polonina, and I made it a point to have a debate about gun ownership in my classes. And a lot of my students pointed out that, technically you could protect yourself, but the chances that you would go to jail if you killed somebody are very high here, right? Yeah. So there's really, what happens if someone wants to harm you, right? You just kind of have to let them. And
first he has to harm you, then you have to prove it. See, he stabbed me, that's why I shot him, but I had to wait for him to stab me.
Right.
There were some stories about people who break into somebody's house and, for example, sleep on the floor and hurt themselves somehow. Yeah. And they wanted to, odszkodowanie?
Damages. They wanted to be paid damages, get money for it, right?
House owners.
Yeah.
So this is normal.
This is very, very normal. Other than that, there's a lot of similarities between Poland and Texas. Did you know there's even a Częstochowa, Texas? There's a little town in Poland.
Told me,
Rick told you about that? Yeah. Rick, you're the man. I've yet to visit it. It's south of San Antonio, going down that direction, but I plan to. It's a beautiful church there. I think the friendliness of Texas too. Where my sister lives, you'll be driving down the road. You don't know the other driver, but they'll just wave, right? Your neighbor, hello.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more friendliness in Poland. More smiles. Right?
Yeah,
that would be nice.
But Częstochowa is specific like that. When, for example, if you in Silesia, you go to a shop, the women selling are much more often friendly. Here is like
It's true. There is something about Częstochowa. I love the city, but...
I'm sure it's everywhere, actually. I think it's everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm the only guy who's smiling.
But I think Częstochowa, I have to look at the numbers exactly, but I think that we have a larger elderly population here than compared to other cities like Kraków, right? Wrocław.
Because young kids are leaving the city.
Yeah.
Universities then find job in bigger cities, so Częstochowa is shrinking.
But they're building more and more flats everywhere. That's what's boggling my mind.
Yeah, and there's...
on every street corner.
And there's no space, supposedly. So I don't know how does that up, but...
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, my teenagers, my matura students, those that are finishing high school, I do a little interview at the end of the year right now. Are you guys, after college, going to come back? Are you going to stay in... No, we're going to find a job in Warsaw or Kraków or Wrocław or wherever. We're never coming back here. 90% of them say that.
Yeah.
And that's a little, heartbreaking, but... we'll see. Maybe they will.
Okay.
Sometimes it can, sometimes it can change after you see reality in different city.
Right.
For example, in Wrocław, in Warsaw, you are more how to say, people don't know each other.
Yeah.
It's like everybody is some, how to say, anonymous.
Anonymous.
Yeah.
Anonymity. You don't know each other. Exactly. And it's nice. You walk down the avenue here and I'll see 3 or 4 people I know just like that, right?
Yeah.
Hi.
And sometimes people realize that they miss it actually, they prefer it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always preferred small towns. I never liked the big towns like Warsaw. My sister, went to university, let's say, to Warsaw, and she stayed. But during COVID, she came back to Częstochowa because I said, okay, everything is much more expensive there.
Right.
If I can work online, it makes no sense to stay in Warsaw. And she came back to Częstochowa. Yeah, everything is closer, everything is cheaper.
Right. And you have that salary from working in that larger city here, so it makes perfect sense. So maybe there's some hope for Częstochowa in that regard, right?
Yeah.
About your channel actually, because it's like 6 years now, something like that.
2018, 6 years. We just turned 6 last month. When I was in Texas, we celebrated the 6th birthday of Love My Poland.
Nice, congratulations.
Yeah.
It was hard at first, because now it's over 50,000 subscribers. Yeah, it's pretty
going
nice,
on 54,000. Right.
Yeah.
The hardest thing was accepting criticism. Growing up in Bible Belt of the USA, everybody was rather nice, gave you compliments, even if they didn't mean it. But YouTube, they are harsh. They will tell you exactly what they think about your appearance, how you talk, right? Sometimes some racist comments, right? What are you? I had to get used to all the negative comments that I would get, right? Some of them were very personal.
We invite them.
Yeah. But it just, now after 6 years, I'm like, okay, it says more about them than it does about me. And it doesn't bother me.
Oglądacie właśnie kanał Normalnie Nienormalni. Pamiętajcie o zostawieniu łapy w górę oraz subskrypcji.
Komentujcie, piszcie, co wam się podoba, jakich gości chcielibyście zobaczyć, jakie tematy was interesują.
But learning the ropes, learning how to edit that video, what's best, right? What kind of lighting, what kind of microphones. You guys have great microphones here. That was challenging for me. Yeah, it was really challenging to learn all of that. My heart was in it. I wanted to make the channel, but there were so many little steps, so many things to learn about how to do it right.
Well, the good thing is that you can learn on the job, yeah?
Right.
It doesn't have to perfect from the beginning.
You record in English. So did you check the statistics? Who is your...
Yes.
I don't know. A lot of people from USA or maybe from Poland. Who's watching this?
This is going to surprise you. So I've done a few episodes. I think 3 episodes in Polish. The rest have been in English. 72% from Poland. 72%. Thank you, Poland. This channel really is watched by Polish viewers.
So the language is not a problem.
Not a problem. And I suspect that the people that watch me in the US are mostly people who have Polish descent.
Maybe.
I believe so.
They're interested in their homeland, let's say.
Yes. So Poles are curious, really. The question you asked, what do you see kind of on the outside looking in? They're curious to see how we see you. They want to know that, right?
I checked it, and one of the most popular videos on your channel is food you don't like to, and food you like to.
Yeah, and 5 things that drive me crazy in Poland. This was probably, I think it has about 500,000 views. I just complain about 5 things that drive me crazy.
Complaining is our national sport.
And what it was? What was that thing?
What was it?
Those 5 things.
Oh gosh, I have to remember now. But one of them was definitely about space. Okay. This one still drives me nuts. We're using Bleak, we're using the card to buy everything, but you will still run into some elderly people, not to pick on elderly people. Coins.
Yeah.
Paying like this, and it takes ages, right?
My wife is like this.
Is she really?
I'm like, there's people behind you. Can you just hurry up?
What I do, if I have coins, I still pay with coins. My students pay me in cash. I'll just kind of go like this and say, take it. Yeah, and they count it out of my hand, and everybody's happy, right?
I just try to be fast. I also do coins, but I try to be fast. My wife's like, no, not the carry in the world. But she's Latin. She's from Portugal. So.
Yeah. One of the things I mentioned, it was the most controversial thing I've ever said on YouTube on my channel. And it's about Polish people asking me this question. You asked me, what are you doing here? Why did you move to Poland? Fair question. But when people ask me, why did you move to Poland? with that attitude. When Polish people ask me that,
it's weird, but yeah, we have
my skin crawls. I can't stand it. Why did you go from such a beautiful place to such a terrible place? Absolutely not. And part of the reason I made Love My Poland is to show Poles, this place is pretty nice. You don't know what you have.
Yeah, it's problem of mentality. A
lot of Poles have this inferior mentality that maybe they were growing up during communism times. They went to Germany when they were kids, and the difference was just mind-blowing. And somehow they are stuck to that. And I still hear it from friends, and and they have this idea of like we are racist, we are xenophobic, or okay, maybe we are.
But a little bit.
Not bad, yes.
But there's also a narrative like that in European media, for example, because my wife sometimes she talks to her mother, and she tells about some little stuff happened, that some negativity, but because you just meet stupid people sometimes, and the first is coming up because you look different, because they're like, no, it's not.
Yeah,
just people are people,
Absolutely.
You're always going to meet some nice people and some assholes.
I had to also kind of, one of the things I addressed was when I moved here for the first time, and what church are you working with? The Baptist church. It's a Protestant church. Oh, it's a sect. It's a sect. You're part of a sect, huh? I'm like, no, it's not a sect. We believe in Jesus, like the Catholics do. No, but it's not a Catholic. No, you're part of a sect. So I got a lot of that, right? But that's also changed. It's gotten much better over the years. Yeah. So if you're not Catholic, you're kind of, I don't know what you are. What's going on?
And how does it look in Texas? Is there something like, the main religion?
We are, the last I checked, Texas is very Protestant, very Baptist. We've got a lot of Catholics. The Hispanics that live there in the southern part of Texas especially have brought that Roman Catholicism over, in the years. But traditionally, we are a Protestant, Baptist, Christian state. Okay. And we are red. We generally vote red in the elections. So the Republican Party. It's a Republican Party state.
That's why you're doing better than California.
It's going to change all these Californians coming over, probably. We'll see.
Okay.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, who's going to learn from which mistakes?
Yeah.
Are they going to learn from there, or are they going to bring their problems to Texas?
Exactly.
Because it might happen, you never know. Some people don't learn,
There was some idea to disconnect Texas from the US,
It's still talked about.
We are one Texas is the Lone Star state.
The Lone Star. And we have a special contract. I think there are 2 other states. I think Alaska can do it, and maybe Hawaii. I've double-checked that, but definitely Texas could vote themselves out of the union and become a separate entity. But I think that a war would take place before that happened. So it's a very important, very vital state for the union. But technically, they could. And people do talk about it from time to time.
Yeah, right? Especially when there's a big difference between the ideas in Texas and the federal government. I can imagine. So
the situation at the border
is
kind of a hot point in Texas.
I actually listen more to American, let's say, political commentators than to Polish ones. So it's one of the most heated debates, the border and the problem. I've heard that Texas wants to stop, but then the federal government comes and they just let those people in,
And it's really unclear. Texas has its law, and the states have their own strong laws. But it's kind of unclear who has, the authority, ultimate authority on that.
Who controls the border? Is it Texas, since it's Texas border, or it's federal, since it's U.S. border as well?
Yeah. But it was 1999, the last year that I actually lived in Houston, Northwest Houston, and I went back to Northwest Houston a month ago, and I can tell you the demographics have drastically changed in that area. Unrecognizable for me nowadays. So this has been happening. What you see on the news is real.
Yeah.
Houston's changed.
So this is a good point, because Grześka said that he's listening to USA News. And about you are more interested in Polish politics for now, or yours? Yours.
I have to tell the world, because I've never said this on my channel, but I will admit this now on your channel. I have become a Polish citizen. I have my citizenship.
Okay.
I got it about a year ago. After I wrote a letter to the president of Poland, did it that way. It took 2.5 years to get the response, but I got it. And so I'm voting in the Polish elections now. I try to keep up. And I also vote in the American elections. So I have the best of both worlds. And I do keep up with what's going on. It was a really hot campaign between 2 very good people, for the city president, the mayor of Częstochowa. So I was able to vote in that election as well. I am registered as a Częstochowa president. So it's nice. I try to keep up with both. Thank you.
Congratulations.
It's important to me. It's been a dream fulfilled as well to have that. So I have a Polish passport and travel on
You
that.
had to, I don't know, do some language test or anything? How does it look?
There's 2 ways to apply. I didn't want to, I could do it. I could pass that language test, but it was a headache. So someone said, just write all these years, your YouTube channel, write to the Polish president, give him some links to your channel, give him some good arguments why you'd like to be a Polish citizen, and just see what happens. So it was, for me, like a 50-50 chance. He could say, no, do it this route. But I got a positive response. So I was able to go past that.
If you got negative, could you try the other way?
I believe so. So
it's not like you have to choose one and then...
There's no one really to ask about that. I asked some immigration lawyers and they didn't know. And
because my wife was also thinking about to get the nationality, but
our president gives you nationality because of the YouTube channel.
It wasn't because of the YouTube channel. It was, I had, on the application, you had to give some arguments as to what have you done for Poland? What have you done to deserve to be a citizen here? And when you really think about it, other than working and teaching Poles English, is this something else? I've been promoting Poland to the world in a positive light, mostly, right? So that's just a little something, right?
And we love Texas, so maybe you're gonna get green card. I had the flag of Texas from Rick, but I moved since I met him. I moved like 6 times, and I have no idea where it is.
He lost your flag. You have to give him a new one. Yeah,
it was a small one, so made in China, obviously. But
the next time in Texas, I will bring you back one, Greg. If you're interested in that memorabilia, no problem.
Yes,
right?
Of course. We could put it somewhere here behind us.
Yeah,
we are, still adding ornaments to our studio, underground kitchen studio.
It's one of the weird things about running a YouTube channel is you never want people to have to focus on your face. You want to have things on the side for them to be distracted by.
Especially our faces.
Yes. You got 3 distractions here, but I'm liking this, right?
Yeah, it's AI made. That's why we look better than in real life. But
yes.
Let's keep it that way.
So you're the normal one and you're the abnormal one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not hard.
Liking the helmet there, yeah.
This is a concept of AI. I never had it on my head, actually.
Oh, is that AI produced? Nice.
Yeah.
Good. Very good.
A little better. This guy is with us from the beginning.
Oh, yes.
This is our main distractor.
Yes. My wife got it. I don't know from where. But
it's one of those snow globes. You shake it up. Oh, okay.
Yeah, shake it up.
Dark snow. There you go.
And I wanted to ask you about the baseball.
Sure.
You can compare the knowledge of baseball here in Poland with knowledge of, I don't know how to say, football or soccer. Probably soccer in US. How does it look compared?
You know what? I was surprised when I went back to Texas how many people are playing football or soccer nowadays. Yeah. A lot. And I remember being a kid, I played as well. So I think most guys know the basic rules of soccer. Most Polish guys don't know the basic rules of baseball. I did not know this until a few years ago. Palant. There's a sport called Palant. And it is in some of the rules, it's very similar to the concept of baseball. As a matter of fact, I also read something that Palant, a Polish guy, could have been responsible for some of the rules in baseball. Baseball was invented at the end of the 19th century, 1880 something. It was, So it was, I think there's some Polish influence in the rules of baseball through Palant. Yeah.
And Palant is basically Polish?
I have no idea. But
I never played, actually.
You should trust the Texan guy.
I think you have to hit the ball yourself and you run the stations, the bases, right?
There are stations as well.
Yes, also station, but you throw it yourself when you hit it.
I am going to do a video on Palant one day when I have enough information, because it's another thing. When you're making YouTube videos, you better fact check everything. Because you have an audience of fact checkers that will prove you right or wrong, right?
We don't have much of an audience, so we don't have to do any fact checking.
But I think I truly do. I would like to be able to say baseball has Polish roots, right?
It would be nice
due to that. But yeah, definitely, we are more knowledgeable on soccer in the US than the other way around.
It's also bigger sports. Yes,
it's not like we don't have a knowledge totally, because I don't know. I'm not sure if you know, but Poland is the country where where there's selling of probably the biggest number of baseball
bats.
We have a lot of not a single ball.
right, just the bat. Yes, right. I don't know the rule. Are you able to legally carry it in your car?
I think you have to have a glove or something.
You have to have other equipment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're a fan of the sport.
I'll give you a link to a good store where you can get all that stuff, right?
Do you have a discount?
I might.
You should think of that.
Yes.
Come for some football games with promo codes to the football fans.
But yeah, baseball bats, I've got several at home. I think I've got about a dozen that we play with when I
Watch
train
out
the
for
kids.
the police raid. Make sure you have some gloves.
I need an ID as a coach.
Probably it's easier to complete a team with young kids, yeah, and not
Most
with
definitely.
adults.
Yeah.
Is there any adults?
Yeah, there's the senior team. The senior team has, like I said, almost every large city has a senior team, and the senior team has like a 15 and under, 12 and under, even down to 8 and under.
Okay.
So you've got everybody playing at every age level. Women's softball is growing.
Okay.
Right? So it's basically baseball with a larger ball and it's underhanded.
Yeah, they throw a different.
Yeah. So Katowice, our team, we've got a good softball team as well. So it's growing.
How often do you travel to Katowice?
Probably 2 or 3 times a month. Yeah, the kids play.
Mm-hmm.
And, the good thing about Silesia, there are several teams, like I said, Żory, Rybnik, Katowice, and there's also Kędzierzyna and Kozle.
Okay.
They have a team. So pretty much within an hour, you've got all these teams that you can play. So that's nice. And we have our Silesian kind of region interplay.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes Katowice, sometimes other places. You should come to a game one day. I'll invite you. I'll send you
Sure.
the date, the address, and everything.
I will. Not long ago, last summer, I took part in the rugby game. I also never played, so I took part. Maybe one day. Rugby. No, rugby.
Okay.
Rugby. I don't know if we had the same.
For us, this is very similar, like American football, but I know this is not the same.
I know you guys are into boxing. This might be more your sport. Very violent, very, no protection. Let's just
We
go.
love violence.
No?
We love violence.
You love violence. This is your sport. Baseball is too safe.
Everything is about violence.
So that is right up your alley.
It's not about sport.
That's why the baseball bets.
It's totally not about sports. It's only about blood.
It is. Yeah. Real hooligans, right?
The real game.
Precisely.
It's going to bleed more.
Yeah. Major League Baseball right now, they're playing a series between the Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Mets in London.
In London?
Yes.
Why?
It's the World Tour of Baseball. They're trying to promote baseball around the globe.
Because how many countries, there's probably baseball over the world, but I only know of America and the sport is so big. Is there other countries that it is like a mainstream sport?
Japan.
Japan?
All day long. Japan love baseball.
Really?
And they are very good. They can beat us in the World Baseball Classic sometimes. So they've got good players. The most highly paid player, the best player in our league is a Japanese guy. Otani. I cannot pronounce his first name.
Okay.
Otani is his last name. He is amazing. A $700 million contract.
Oh my
For
God.
him to play for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yeah. So it is big. Other than that, a lot of countries in the Caribbean area. Okay. So Dominican Republic, Cuba, they play. They're very good. They play in Holland, the Netherlands. They have a good baseball club there. They play in Germany. They play in France. So yeah, African countries play. I think every country's got some kind of team to represent them.
And
right?
in USA, this is number one sport, you think? Baseball?
No, football probably.
You know what? It kind of varies. It's still America's pastime. Pastime means our number one form of entertainment. We play 160-something games per year.
Mm-hmm.
So there are games during the baseball season, many more than there are NBA games or American football games. So I think just because of the number of games that are played and the opportunity to go and see them, it's probably still number one. But NBA and American football and college football, they compete.
Oh, yeah, because of the college. It's very, very strong in your country.
Yes. I can't wait for college football season. I watch every game.
Even
Alabama, right.
college is like professional or not?
It's kind of becoming professional in a way, but traditionally they would play to get a scholarship to study in university. You have to pay for your studies
But
in the
after all
US.
those hits in the head,
Concussions.
yeah,
right?
they should definitely
Injuries.
get paid because they train like pros.
Yes.
They are used like pros, let's say, because of the number of games they play. And so I think they should definitely be treated as pros in that.
And they are. They're putting new rules in every year to get them money, to get them their publicity, right? So they can become famous and play for the NFL, which is their ultimate goal. So right now, playing for good colleges like the University of Alabama, University of Texas, it's an easy pass to get to the NFL if you're good, right?
Yeah.
Play for the top schools.
And how do you think about all of the society thinking number one of the fight sports in USA is boxing or UFC now? I mean,
that is a great question. I'm not sure. I can tell you that talking to some of my American friends and family. We were all watching the Tyson Fury Usyk fight, right? Yeah. So boxing is still huge there, but I know the MMA and these new kinds of, fighting sports are taking off.
I actually think that big hit on boxing was actually NFL, because a lot of big athletic guys just choose college football instead of boxing because of them. You got like a straight way of your career. Yeah, you go to college, you get a scholarship, you study, you play, then you go to NFL. Boxing is more chaotic. More things can happen, let's say. Yeah. So those big athletic guys, instead of going to heavyweight boxing, they went to college football. And, this heavyweight boxing is the thing that people care about the most. If you're, let's say, casual fan, you watch the heavy guys, yeah? Yes. And now most of them are British guys, yeah? You don't see, so outside of Deontay Wilder, you don't see much Americans.
Yeah, it really does. I think about that a lot. Where are all the good American fighters? Where's the next Mike Tyson, right? Where's the next Holyfield?
Yeah, exactly.
Where are these guys?
They are playing football.
They are. Holyfield's son played for the University of Georgia in football.
For now, it's, I think Ryan Garcia is the most popular.
In America?
It could be in America, Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know if he's the most popular, but he's definitely up there. Yeah, most definitely. So
it could be. And do you have something like, because in Poland we have it like from 6 or 7 years maybe in MMA, freak fights.
Okay.
Do you know what is it?
Not exactly.
Not exactly.
I'm 48 years old, and I'm kind of, I was part of this whole Mike Tyson era and the Holyfield, and from there, I never really got into the other stuff,
This is putting
tell me about
two guys, or more than two guys, or not even guys.
Can be a guy and two girls.
Yeah. Into the octagon and then fight in MMA rules, but they are known not as sportsmen, but like some kind of celebrities, YouTubers, podcasters, maybe.
I saw something, kind of on the reel of videos this morning. There was a huge guy fighting two smaller brothers.
Exactly.
Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Just knocked one of them out? Okay.
This is what I think.
So I know what you're talking about.
I think Poland and Russia are the top countries for those kinds of entertainment.
Entertainment, exactly. Yeah. Not sport, only, entertainment. It could be said it is.
Yeah. But I know I'm getting older when I see these slap competitions. And I really don't know what's going on with that.
This is how you don't get it.
I don't get that either.
Okay, who's going to have concussion first? You go, now I go.
Why don't just drink vodka?
Yeah, it's safer. You'll sleep well at night.
You could have just, here a shot and here a pillow, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it's fun looking at, cultures differently and different perspectives.
Last time, because you said you were watching, I know you were watching all this fight, but you some kind of short, with
this real little
big guy with two little guys, and on the same event, there was a fight in a car when there were two guys on the car on the seat with seat belts. And there was countdown 3, 2, 1, go.
And you open and you fight each other.
And they start fight each other. And in Russia, there is some kind of federation which makes fights in telephone cabin.
Like telephone booth.
In a phone booth?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have to look into that. I have not seen that.
They're looking, they want to shock people. They want to find something new.
For the next big thing, right? To catch people's attention, yeah.
But it's not I think it's, not the best direction, because next step, I don't know, maybe it will be swords. Actually, there is a federation with swords and armors.
Yeah, but soon they're going to remove the armor.
Yeah, not sharp.
So they will start with no armor and sharp swords.
Some wise people said in the past, you'll see at the end of civilization, we're going to go back to the gladiator times, right?
Yes.
Swords and two warriors in the stadium, and let's go.
And baseball bats.
And baseball bats.
Here you go.
Swinging club, right? Yeah. Just waiting for that to happen. The Colosseum opening again in Rome, Let's go. It's fun, though. It's fun. Entertainment is good. We need it.
Of course. Okay, let's maybe get back to food, because I was watching your channel, and there's a lot of stuff about food, obviously, because the food is different. So one of your, let's say, videos, you said that you don't like or even hate Polish cheesecake compared to American ones. Do you still think that you don't like it? Did it change your taste, or maybe someone made a better one?
Traditional Polish cheesecake is not sweet enough. It just tastes chalky. It tastes dry, and then somebody puts raisins in it, and that's even worse. So
Team Raisins.
Team Raisins, yeah.
That's why it's the abnormal one.
I just can't do it. Look, it's healthier though. Okay, it's healthier to eat your cheesecake. I just have to get used to it. American cheesecake, your typical New York cheesecake, is sugar with little cheese. It is so sweet. But once you've grown accustomed to eating that kind of cheesecake, it's hard to go to the Polish cheesecake.
Okay.
And my wife cannot eat the American style. It's just pure sugar. I can't, she just spits it out. So somewhere in the middle, right, is the prime area. Café del Corso here in Częstochowa. Don't know who makes that cheesecake, but it's pretty close to what I like. So you can find some cafes and some bistros that serve non-traditional Polish cheesecake. You? Maybe. No, I have a lot of classes in that cafe, as a matter of fact, right? Even the owner of the cafe is my student. So he'll be happy that I mentioned it, but no, you won't be paying me. But there are some places in Częstochowa where you can get good cheesecake, but the traditional is this old-fashioned cheesecake. No, can't do it.
But actually, it's true that, for example, I always like the cheesecake, let's say in my family, my grandma's, my mother's, my wife's. But very often I go somewhere, like some party, and I take cheesecake, and it's like you're saying, chalky, dry, like...
Yeah.
And
just crumbles off your fork.
The raisins in it, they're crazy.
Yeah.
Should be put to death.
I would go with makowiec, so I would go with poppy seed cake before I would go with cheesecake, right?
Okay. That's my favorite is the cheesecake with poppy seeds. You know that those like have two.
Yes.
It's more moist this way. So that's one of my favorite cakes.
I like kopiec kreta in Poland. It's kind of mound of sweetness. It's pretty good. Right?
Oh, do you like karpatka? Because my wife was actually
like
listening to it and she said, "Oh, maybe he would like karpatka because it's more creamy." Yeah.
Yeah. If it's sweet and it just needs to be sweet. I have a sweet tooth, right?
The same.
It's got to be sweet. I'll like it if it's sweet. But cheesecake doesn't do it for me, right? And too much fish in this country. I just can't do all the... If you saw my video, you saw the...
śledź, the herrings.
The herring in oil.
In vinegar. And
it just looks like snake skin that's been kind of put in oil and closed. No, I can't go there. No.
I'm not a big fan of fish, so we almost never have fish at home. So
Christmas carp.
You're safe here.
Yeah.
But in Portugal, I think you...
In Portugal, a lot of cod. Cod is everywhere. Go to supermarket and just smells fish because they have them open wide, all in salt and just laying there smelling. So, Portuguese supermarkets, you enter.
I don't eat fish like 6 years now, but when I was, the best dish with fish for me, it was paprika's.
Okay.
You know what this is?
I know exactly what that is, and I don't like that either.
It's a very Polish thing.
Right. It's another thing. I was surprised when I moved here how traditional and how Poland 20 years ago followed the Catholic rules, right? Like Christmas Eve dinner, Vigilia, has to be non-meat.
Yeah.
So for me, that was tough because we always have turkey for Christmas Eve, but no turkey for Russell. No, it's got to be fish.
Yeah, and the I don't know what's the name in English, the carp.
Yeah.
Yeah, carp. It's also
carp. Carp is carp.
Yeah. Right. I don't like it. Too much the fish bones and stuff.
There's a nice story about the post, the not meat eating, in Fridays, for example, because it's not only evening. If you go straight with Catholic rules, you should not eat meat every Friday.
Yes.
And in Middle Age, there was I'm not sure if this is true story, but it could be.
Yeah.
There was a big risk of extermination of beaver population.
Really?
Because
they were very popular.
Beaver, like boober?
Yes.
Whoa.
People were eating beavers in every Friday because it was living in the river, so this is fish, we can eat it.
I have never heard that.
Yes.
I have a new topic from my students.
First time I heard that I was in Malbork, in the old castle of the... And they were
beautiful castle.
And the guide told us that they found some old recipes, and a lot of them was like, of course, like with the veal and wild game, but a lot of them was with beaver, The beaver tail was like the delicacy, a lot of things that I'd never heard of eating beaver, but they were quite popular in Middle Ages.
Wow.
It was an animal to eat.
Because it's in the water, so you're safe.
Cheat meal in a Friday.
But now you've got so many pigs in the water, maybe that counts, right? Pork, bacon, right? Yeah. But there's so many good dishes in Poland that I think once you've become accustomed to eating things like gołąbki or pierogi ruskie, my favorite.
Oh, my favorite as well.
Oh gosh, why would you eat fish or anything else when you've got so much deliciousness?
Do you like pierogi ruskie with, did you try them with siadło mleko, sour milk?
Yes. Pierożek, right? Those little
When I at home, I always like to add... Because I watch your program said that you always would eat it with onion and stuff, but I thought if you ever tried with...
I have tried it many ways with they like a little side, right, of this milk that comes with it. Yes, definitely. I like it with meat as well. You know, pierogi. A lot of good dishes here. A lot of good stuff. Even just salads, your surówki, right?
Yes.
Are so tasty.
That's the one thing I miss when I go to Portugal, because I like Portuguese food, but they eat no vegetables basically.
Yeah.
Just some green, ungrown tomato with cucumber on the side, and that's lettuce. That's all. Yeah, it's always the same. So in Poland, there's a huge variety of fresh vegetables that people eat. When you're a kid, you hate it, but when you get old, you kind of miss not having it.
Yes.
So is there any Texas meal you miss?
Absolutely. Oh, how I wish. We have one little restaurant in Częstochowa that serves some Tex-Mex, but burritos, enchiladas, tacos, right? Mexican food. That's been a Mexican would never tell you that food is Mexican food. It is Tex-Mex, right?
Okay.
So we've Americanized a lot of Mexican dishes, but I miss good Tex-Mex food.
Okay.
That's probably, and a good Texas steak, right? One that's like that big that you can get. Got me a Texas steak the moment I landed in Texas. So I think those kinds of meals, and the Chinese food is pretty good here too, but the Chinese food back in the US is a little different. A lot of the restaurants here look more like Vietnamese food than they are Chinese. So just some kinds. America doesn't really have American food. Hot dogs, hamburgers, right?
It's a mix of different cultures and different cuisines. So.
We just steal everybody's food and say it's ours.
Well, because you are built by different nations, so
we are,
kind of mix. But so maybe this is a...
Excuse me, let me turn this. My mother's calling me. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Turn this off.
No problem.
All right. Put this here so I can mute it if we need to. So that kind of food, I don't really think about it that much, though. I get home probably once or twice a year, and I just go crazy. I feast on all this food, so it's not I don't miss it too badly.
Okay.
We cook a lot at home, too. Some of our favorite meals.
Now it's the grill time.
Oh, yes, it is.
Śląska, your favorite?
Yes, very good.
I was watching.
I'm impressed. The grill has already been used several times, right? I think official grill season in Poland starts at the beginning of May, 1st of May.
Majówka is
Majówka.
Official opening.
Yes. So we have officially christened the grill, and many more grill times coming up. Yeah.
And after all these years, how is your Polish language actually? Because when you have students in English, do you talk with them in English or in Polish for now?
Okay, so when someone comes to me for conversation, I've noticed that they really don't want me to speak Polish. They're paying good money to only speak English. So I don't really want to speak Polish. Sometimes just to kind of make things clear, I can say this idiom is this idiom in Polish, and I'll translate it, right? Like, szczęście w nieszczęściu, a blessing in disguise is one I taught last week. But I try to just stick to English. They pay for that. They want that.
But it's easier for you as well.
Yeah. I don't like excuses. I'm not the kind of guy to make an excuse for anything. But my Polish language would be much better if people actually spoke Polish to me. Yeah, but no one wants to speak Polish to me. Nobody.
Yeah.
These Americans speak English.
Okay. I have the similar experience in Portugal. Probably if it wasn't for the fact that almost all family of my wife speaks English, maybe I would learn something. But because I can use English, so we are lazy by nature.
My wife, when we were dating and we were talking about getting married and having kids, she said, I have one rule. When we have children, we only speak English at home. Okay. It's for the children.
Yeah.
So we're around the kids all the time.
So you only speak English?
Yes, it's true. And with my mother-in-law, I speak Polish from time to time, but
But when you were dating your wife, did you speak English also?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So. My wife was my English student at first, right?
Okay.
We met that way. So yes, we definitely started speaking English from the very beginning. And we've just kind of gone on that way. So speaking Polish is important. I would like to get better. It's something I do take right now 1 hour a week with a teacher. We kind of do half English, half Polish. And that does help me kind of stay afloat, but I'm just kind of maintaining my level.
Yeah, Polish is very hard. Like my wife, she learned kind of fast, but declination, stuff like that. There's those small details that's almost impossible to, Polish people make mistakes using those. So for foreigners, I can only imagine how hard it is. Our grammar might be simple, like we have just free time, like three tenses. Yeah, you don't have to like all that English, past perfect.
Yes.
All that jazz. But
you asked about, I told you a little bit about baseball down in Silesia, and so I'm learning Częstochowa standard Polish. When I go down there, the accent is so different.
Yeah.
When are we playing? Kiedy gramy?
Mm-hmm.
There? Kiedy gramy?
Yeah.
Gramy? Gramy. Okay. Gramy. Okay, got it. Right? Completely different accent. And sometimes I'm lost, as to what they're saying. So you have Polish, then you have that Polish, then you have Góralski Polish, then you have seaside Polish. There's a lot of forms of Polish in this country. You know what I'm talking about.
Easier to teach them English.
It is. Let's just speak English, right? And when I speak English, I try to enunciate everything clearly. In my videos, I try to speak slowly and clearly so everybody can understand. So it's one of the things that I think has helped me being a teacher too. Just to speak clearly, to be understood.
But actually, I think that it's much easier to speak English with Americans, let's say.
You think so?
To breathe, because they speak faster.
Totally.
Plus, most of us learn from music and movies, which are made in Hollywood, obviously, most of them. So it's much easier to speak with Americans. And I think you, in general, speak slower than Europeans.
It depends. I think it depends on the region where you come from. So you have New York English, they go 100 miles an hour.
Yeah,
right?
But it's proven scientifically that the bigger the city, the faster people speak.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It amazes me sometimes when I show videos in different interviews to my students, they don't sound anything like you. Well, they're from New Jersey. They say things differently. So that's fun, analyzing the different accents and the way people talk. It's really continuously amusing for me here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally different. Like 10 years ago, I was living in UK, like in whole maybe 1 year. But the first 2 weeks, I was learning English from video games, from American movies, from American music, and I thought I know it pretty good. Just enough to talk with everybody. Yeah, I have the best degrees in
conversational level, right?
And first 2 weeks in England, it was totally, I couldn't understand anybody. Right. Only people I could understand was Indian people and Polish people who were
foreigners. Yes, the foreigners speaking.
It's totally different.
They said in London, there's several accents just within London. So can you imagine all of England?
Yeah.
Which accent do you learn?
Yeah, there's a joke that when you learn English, there's certain level that you can already speak with every foreigner in English,
right?
But you still can't speak with the British guy.
yeah, exactly. Well, they eat so much of the word, right? The vowel sounds, they just kind of omit things. Yeah.
They just compress the words.
It's right? It's like that, yeah. It's fun though, right? Makes life interesting.
Yeah, but basically the English that everyone uses is the American English. Let's face it. Let's not pretend that it's. So I think they should already focus in schools also on that.
Yeah.
There is one world language that's American English. The rest are just regional dialects.
Yeah. People ask me very often, and it surprises me, or rather they say, you know what, Russ, don't worry about learning Polish. We're now in the European Union. We've got people from all over the world. We travel. Just speak English. This is the language that's all you need in Poland. How I disagree. And I'm also kind of shocked by that, right? If you live in Poland, we are still a country. This is our language. We should speak the language, right?
Of course.
I'm amazed when people come here and have zero desire to learn any Polish, right? Just basic greetings.
Yeah, but understand. You just make yours, even like you want to learn the culture, yeah? You learn the jokes. There's a lot of things lost in translation. If you don't know the language, you're just going to miss a lot of those, like a lot of, let's say, great Polish comedies, yeah? If you don't know the language good enough to understand the cultural meaning behind it, you're just not going to get it, yeah? It's just going to make no sense to you.
Yes, and one of my favorite TV episodes right now to watch is, I have a hard time pronouncing it, Alternative 4.
Yeah.
And there's so much humor from the communist times that we don't get now. And my wife has to explain it to me. This is funny because this, and that. But that's important, to know the history, to understand the present, right?
Exactly. So
Sex right? Funny movies like that.
Yeah. But you have to, like, if you play to English-speaking person that doesn't know any Polish. I remember one of exchanges because I met my wife on a youth exchange from European Union.
Nice.
And like a few of those exchanges were playing some Polish movies like that with subtitles, and I was like reading subtitles. It's not funny if you don't understand the Polish itself. It just won't translate to a good joke.
Absolutely. Aren't you disappointed when you watch a funny American comedy and you see the Polish just completely butcher?
Yeah, exactly.
It happens all the time. Like, no, that's not it. Who translated this, right?
Yeah.
The best thing is the titles.
The titles.
Oh, yeah.
That's a special.
Die Hard. Have you heard about it?
Oh, Szklana Pułapka, right? I know. I have an episode on my YouTube channel about funny translations on movies. I'm thinking about making the second edition because I really had a good time making it.
Yeah. There's a lot of those.
And the other thing was the movie, how to say, Vegas Hangover?
Yeah.
Vegas Hangover.
The Hangover.
It was nice translation, Cats Vegas.
Yes.
In ours. It was nice. Then
Works.
the second episode went out and it was Bangkok Hangover.
Yeah.
And what we did? Cats Vegas w Bangkoku.
I know, right? What is the one for Dirty Dancing? It's
Wirujący seks.
Wirujący Seks. Yeah, that one I think is my favorite. Okay, but it explains the movie, doesn't it? Right?
Actually, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it is good. It is funny. It
Not
is.
an easy thing to do when you have. Wonder who is there one person doing those translations? There's one special guy you go to.
Yeah, and I think that this. You call it the lector in Poland, right?
Yeah.
This one voice for all the voices it still just blows my mind. It's like, okay, right?
I remember I was once in Vilnius, with a friend, and it was many years ago. So I was watching a movie in a TV, and it was an American movie with the Russian lector and the local subtitles. Yeah, and I was like, Jesus, that's some other level.
Yeah, completely, right? Yeah.
I heard about this totally different for people outside, but I think I like it actually. This is some kind of special climate, special atmosphere.
Do you think it will change in the future? I really wonder if they'll start completely dubbing everything the way that German television does.
I think it's all dubbing because of the streaming platforms. Yeah, no one watches. No one from even our generation, is watching TV anymore. So I think, you either have just subtitles or dubbed. The lector, I think, is just going to disappear because if you think about it, it makes no sense. Yeah, like if you have cartoons for kids, obviously you have to make dubbing. Yeah, because you don't see the actor. You can make the words fitting the mouth moving. If it's for grown-ups, if it's a movie for grown-ups, just put letters, learn to read fast. That's it. Yeah,
right.
Basically. And also, I think it's the best way, like, for example, in Portugal, a lot of people speak English. In Spain, it's completely opposite. It's much harder to find people speaking, because in Spain, everything is dubbed.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
In Portugal, everything is subtitles. So people you just automatically learn the language because you hear it constantly when you watch movies. So I think it's a great way to teach people foreign languages. Just have just letters, the subtitles, have the dub, because it's automatic. Yeah.
So hopefully we'll kind of stay traditional in that regard. But in terms of, I've had several students from Portugal in my classes at the university, and I've been impressed with their English. You're right. It does seem that people from Portugal have, the desire to learn at least.
Yeah, and I think they are also gifted somehow with languages because of the way how fast my wife was able to learn Polish to be able to communicate. Yeah.
So what does she do? Does she have opportunities to actually speak? I mean,
now much less. Before she was, when she came here, she was first in Warsaw for the Erasmus exchange spent 1 year. So, but she was in her room. She was always, once she had a girl for 6 months, she had a girl from Hungary, and then she had a girl from Portugal. So obviously, they were speaking their English or Portuguese. The rest of the girls that she was staying with, they were party girls.
Yes.
Very party girls. I met them a few times. they would come back to the dormitory at 7 a.m. after party. They would sleep till midday.
Studying hard
They
over
wouldn't
there.
go to they were studying to be special ed teachers.
Okay.
They themselves probably required special ed.
I think so.
There was not much inside, trust me. I was there like 2 times
This is not what Erasmus is about?
No, but they weren't part of Erasmus. They were just,
okay.
They were just, because it was like a dormitory with 3 rooms, and 2 rooms were occupied by those Polish girls from this special ed school that was, they were teaching to be teachers, learning to be teachers, but just horrible. So party till 7, sleep till 12, get ready for the party all night, sleep till 7.
Yes. And repeat.
Yes, and repeat. So
to
my
be
wife
young.
was complaining that she didn't sleep because they were, either drinking till midnight and came back in 7, just constantly drinking and partying.
That had to be unbearable.
Yeah, it was hard. So she was 1 year there. Of course, because she was from Erasmus, she was mainly meeting people also from Erasmus or Spanish. There was a great American guy, Rob Carter. I don't probably he's not going to watch it, but he was also, I think, doing PhD from law, and he was studying in Japan. Then he came to Poland, but basically she was using English. But then when she came to Poland, she went for after she finished studies, she came back. She was working 3 months in Katowice, and then she got jobs straight here in Częstochowa, and that's when she was using the more. Even though she was like working with Portuguese companies, but all her friends were Polish, so some of them speak English. But she had one friend that asked her to only speak to her in Portuguese. She was a very ambitious girl. Now she lives in Spain now. So those two, they were only speaking in Portuguese. And that girl also learned Portuguese like that. So some people just gifted. But she was using Polish mainly with my family and friends.
Okay.
But just, I think she's gifted in terms of languages.
She must be to pick it up so quickly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm one of these people that when I speak Polish, I'm constantly, because I'm so analytical about teaching and making mistakes and correcting people's mistakes, that I'm afraid to make mistakes. And I think that fear of butchering Polish keeps me back a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
I think
After all these years, as they say, it hasn't gone away.
I also blame my wife for my lack of Portuguese, because she was always correcting me with the smallest detail.
Yeah.
So when you start to try to say something, there's okay, so whatever. I'm not trying.
He just lost hope,
yes,
right?
It's all her fault. Otherwise, I would be speaking Portuguese.
For me, it's funny to hear them sometimes, because, they're speaking Polish, suddenly they switch to English, and she is switching to Portuguese, he's saying something, and they come back to Polish, and then once again to English, and then comes the kid,
sometimes
Arthur, and
we speak in English, and then we forget the word in English, so put that in szafka.
Yeah, and then the shelf will come back to it later. But I want to go to a topic of international relationships, right? I think it's so much fun to be married to a Polish girl. Sometimes it's difficult, right? There's cultural differences, there's linguistic differences, but it still fascinates me. It's fun to raise kids and see them be bilingual. Do you have that same feeling?
Yeah. Well, I don't have other experience.
Right. Yeah, I know, but you can imagine,
it's
right?
Definitely, I think the ability for the kids to speak two languages is definitely a big positive aspect of multicultural relationships.
Yeah.
And, the differences that we have in our cultures are not big enough to be a problem in a relationship. Yeah?
Right.
So I think that our differences that we have are mainly positive, because it's not something that's going to create attention. So I think we are doing fine. In our case, like kids love going to Portugal.
I bet they do. Yeah. Sunshine, right?
Sunshine. Mm-hmm. The food is different. They like some things more. Some things they don't like. So you also get this thing I asked you the first question, the difference, how you look on Poland outside. I think those kids kind of immediately start with that idea because they are more often outside and they can compare stuff. So I think they can be, on one way, can be more open-minded to different stuff, and then also find faults easier because they are not like from the childhood that this is the only good way, because they also can see the other ways how things are done. So they have that ability, I think. Maybe it's when they grow up, it's gonna turn out to be something.
I'm at that stage now. I'm kind of. Do you know the expression "soccer mom"?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm soccer dad lately. Every Saturday, I'm taking the kids somewhere, and I can speak Polish to the point where I'm understood. But one day we were taking two of his friends to the soccer game, and I looked back, and in my best Polish, I said, "Please fasten your seatbelt. We're going to go. I'm going to get you there. We're going to arrive alive." I was trying to make a joke, and my middle son, my 11-year-old, said, "Dad, you don't talk to my friends. You're being cringy. just drive us, please, okay? Just don't talk to my friends." So I'm at that stage now, right? I'm the weird, awkward dad.
Obciachowy.
So yeah.
You said how old is your first kid?
My first one's 13. He'll be 13 in December, and David, my middle son, is 11.
So the age of my daughter.
Yes. So it's already, everything's starting to change.
Yeah.
Puberty, adolescence.
Yeah, my daughter's also cringe.
For now,
everything's cringe.
Dad, stop. Yeah, just. I'm there.
Now there's still a couple years left, but in USA, I think people are going on their own, much faster than here, yeah? It's like you get 18, 19, maybe 20, and you go to start your own family. If I see it in the movie, maybe it's not true, but I don't know.
You know
Here,
what? It's changing in the USA.
Yeah.
It's absolutely changing. You know, the prices going up, inflation, this and that. It's not like it used to be in the USA.
Okay.
Kids are living at home longer, right? It's taking off as, you know.
Also, I wanted to ask you this question before about education systems, because you obviously grew in American system. Now you're here, you see kids grow in Polish. What are the biggest differences that you see, and what would you like to change? What is better here? What's better there?
Okay, so one of the huge differences is the amount of homework kids had here in Poland. And I say had because the government changed the rules recently about homework. And my children would go to football or soccer practice, come back at 7, take a shower. From 8 to 10, they would be doing homework. My wife would be helping them. I would help them with their English when I had the chance to, but I did not have this much homework when I was in primary school in the USA.
Yeah. But we also, I didn't have so much as well.
What has changed, right?
It has changed from the years, not the country thing, but it's the time thing.
Right.
Well, I had quite a lot of it. I just never did it.
I'm truly amazed at how liberal Polish schools are about the absences. Kids can miss like indefinite numbers of days at school. And we had 8 misses per semester. And if we missed more than that, we were in danger of having to repeat the whole semester or the whole year. Unless it was a serious doctor's note, he was really sick, we couldn't miss school. There was no, opportunity like that. So I think that's one thing too. I see kids at the cafe, they should be in school, they're drinking coffee. Like, why aren't you in school?
Yeah, in Galeria,
Yeah. And in Poland, it seems that, they get out at 12 or 1 p.m. sometimes. In the US, 7:30 to 2:33 p.m., no questions. You're there.
Yeah, I think that's the big issue. I think that the school system is not compatible in Poland with working hours.
Right.
Because very often kids finish much earlier, and then they have a lot of homework.
Right.
They should stay longer. That's whatever they have to do at home, they should do at school. And then when they get home, they actually are done with school. They can be with the family, Yes. Instead, it's like more work for parents that they have to sit with them, do the homework, and also they have to plan who's going to pick them up from school or, how... Well, we don't have that problem because my wife is mainly working from home, and I also have the middle of the day free because I just usually work in the morning and then in the evenings, but the middle of the day I have free, so it's not a problem in our case. But for a lot of people, it's an issue, Either they just sit in school doing nothing. It's stupid. There should be some way of, keep them more hours, but then when they leave, just free time, you're off with school.
And the whole idea that American mathematics is a little bit behind Europe, it's true. 2 years ago, I took my kids to primary school in Tennessee at that time, and they spent almost 3 weeks in the public school system because American school started at the beginning of August. So you're going to be in school for 3 weeks. You're going to get a taste of American school. My kids were in hell. They could not stand being there till 3 p.m. They said the mathematics, they did that like 2 years ago. The stuff the kids were doing there, they had already done long ago. So that's a nice thing. But we emphasize, something like social studies, right? Which would be something like I always forget, Vols. Yeah, and other classes, they had more pressure to learn, but the math and the science kind of was easier, having done it, in Poland already. So that was that. So they said it was an interesting 2 or 3 weeks, but we don't want to do that again. We like Polish school.
So they got used to Polish.
They couldn't run in the hallways. They couldn't run in, and scream and be loud like they are in Poland. American school, quiet in the hallways. We're going to the next class, right?
Oh, yeah? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's more relaxed.
In the movies, you always see bullies.
Yeah.
Hitting someone, closing him in the locker.
I was one of the guys that got locked in the locker. It happened to me. It's true. Yeah. 7th grade.
That's why
I was 12 years old. Yeah, exactly. I ran away from my bully. There is something there. Yeah.
I don't remember much of bullies in school. There was some idiot in the class, but
class clown.
Nothing like you see from American movies with bullies and stuff. No.
But they really do exist. Maybe not, to the extent that you see them in films, but there are. It does exist. Yeah.
There's always a bit of truth.
There is.
In Hollywood.
And what was your family reaction when you decided to stay here? Because they're visiting you here?
Yeah.
And they feel similar, like, this is a nice place, I understand you? Or...
Okay, so
not so long.
It was
come back to us.
It was a systematic thing. So I went for, like I said, the first time for 3 months. Decided at Christmas I wanted to do another year. So they said, okay, he's going to be gone for another year. There was no reaction. I think they started to really understand that I'm here when I got married. Okay, so he's married. Oh, they're buying an apartment. Okay, so this is pretty permanent. My mom repeats all the time, if you're happy, we're happy for you, right? There was nothing really negative. My best friend was more of the, are you crazy? What are you doing? You're going to move to Poland? Why? Come on, man, you've just finished college. You have your master's degree. What are you going to do in Poland? You're teaching English at the university? What? So it was kind of more like that from my best friend. But the family, they all support me. And they're happy to come visit me. So
that's what they wanted.
Yeah, exactly. They have pretty much
summer holiday destination.
Free tour guide, right? To show them all around. So
escape Texan heat.
Yeah. I had all my Texas people here last summer. I took them to all kinds of places. We were in Warsaw. We were in Kraków several times. We went down to the Polish mountains, the Wisła, to Chantoria, the lift to the top of the mountain, had kielbasa there. So I gave them the Royal Grand Tour, and they just loved it. They wanted to come back again. So it's
maybe
nice.
You're going to move all your family here.
You never know. You never know.
Buy some land and start cowboy settlement.
Yes, Rio Rancho.
Texan steaks. Open steakhouse.
My sister
fried ribs.
Yeah, my sister married a guy whose father has a real ranch and has cows for beef production.
There you go.
So burgers and steaks, and it's good money. It's a good job.
Yeah, there've been those kind of things. Like a few years ago, there was no burgers in Poland, only McDonald's.
Yeah.
Now you have a burger place all over,
And if it was a burger, it was not beef. It was mostly pork.
Yeah,
exactly. Strange mix. But now, something like...
Now you have a lot of those, so...
Yeah. Juicy
there
burgers. Tasty burgers. I feel pretty good here.
Yeah.
I have to say.
It's also, Poland is changing, becoming more international. I just hope that, the main culture will stay. Because, I like the idea of connecting, but I also like the idea that everywhere you go, it's a bit different. Yeah, I wouldn't like it to be just all meshed out and the same all over the place.
Yeah,
like I think that the best part of Europe is that every country is a bit different, and I would like for it to stay that way. Yeah? Mm-hmm. You can choose which part you like. Plus, I don't like this idea of trying to make everything the same, because even the climate itself, it pushes people to be different.
Right.
You can't act the same in California as in Alaska. It just won't work, yeah?
Yeah.
You cannot have the same solutions because there are different problems, so you have different needs. Even like the power grid, yeah? You cannot expect people in Alaska to be driving electric cars because in winter they're all going to die on the roads.
That's right.
Yeah.
The battery will not hold much charge.
So you cannot just make one rule for everything because it's never going to work.
Right. I think as long as Polish people live in Poland, which will be forever, we're going to be Poland.
Yeah.
Right. I don't feel like we are in danger of losing our culture. Look at Germany. Germany is still very Germany, right? Yeah. And they have all kinds of multi-culti living there. So I think we'll preserve a lot of what is Poland, right? Especially cuisine and things like this.
You are especially what? Cuisine,
food. Like the food. Yeah, tasty. All the good dishes that you have.
So. That's why I joked to you. I hope you understand that. Should I ask my wife to prepare you a cheesecake?
I understood it completely. I was like, how do I diplomatically answer that? Thanks, but no thanks? I knew where you were coming from.
Yeah, I did my homework.
Yes, you did. You were very well prepared for that. Yeah.
Oh, and I've noticed that you changed your taste towards kaszanka. Yeah, that because one of the videos said you hate kaszanka, but then when you talk about grill, that you actually grilled kaszanka, you're more open to it.
Someone told me, one of my YouTubers told me how to prepare it where I don't taste because I don't want to disgust anybody. Okay, I'm going to say it. Do you remember when you were a kid and you lost your tooth?
Yeah.
And you would taste that irony blood taste?
We have that when you box sometimes.
Yeah.
When you get punched.
So that's what kaszanka reminds me of. I feel like I'm eating a lot of teeth, right?
Okay.
It's too irony, it's too bloody tasting for me. So if it's overcooked a little bit, and you add some different seasonings in there, it can mask that bloody flavor, so I can eat it. But if it's too raw...
So how do you eat your steak? Well done?
That's the funny thing. I like it in the middle, medium rare, okay? Or sometimes medium well done, depends on the mood I'm in. For some reason, beef blood tastes different than pork blood.
Because I think pork is more similar to humans in general.
I think you're right.
Like the organ size and stuff, I know that the pig size is quite...
Yeah.
Even the diet, the pigs are omnivores like humans. Yeah.
I cannot articulate, I cannot explain why the blood tastes different, but it does to me. And the pig blood, I just can't do it. It just gives me a gag reflex, right? But it is, kaszanka is as
You wouldn't be a
Poland
good
as
cannibal.
I wouldn't be. That's true. I would be the first to starve and die.
Guys, we have to change our cuisine.
Yeah,
Eating
it's the
humans
end.
doesn't taste good. Don't you remember when you lost a tooth?
Yeah. But I've talked to other people, other Americans who have tried kaszanka, and I'm not alone in this. I'm not crazy.
Well, I'm not a big fan of kaszanka, actually.
First you try it, but or first you heard how is it made?
First I tried it.
Okay, so you didn't know.
And another soup or another dish I talked about was czernina.
I never actually had it.
Okay, so it's basically soup with that flavor.
Yeah, the blood.
Yeah.
I think it's from goose?
Duck. Goose,
from
it can be duck, it can be goose, yeah.
I never had one. So.
Yeah.
I'm also not, like you said, flaczki, also not a big fan of flaczki.
Not a fan of flaczki.
But like, you don't like liver, I love liver.
Yeah.
When I go to like those small like house meals, those like diners, if it's an option, I always take delivery.
Mm-hmm. If it's fried, I can eat it. If it's fried like Kentucky Fried Chicken style, I can do it that way. But just just cooked without anything.
Yeah. They usually fry them.
Yeah.
Do you eat a lot of, in Texas, do you eat like the hearts, livers, kidneys, stuff like that? Is it, or just meat?
Not
muscles?
too much. You can find that, right? There are diners, there are restaurants that would serve things like that to you, but no, I kind of just go Tex-Mex, Chinese, burgers from time to time.
Because I think in Poland, that's my idea from being, when I was a child, we ate much more of those, like the flaczki, the livers, hearts. I think it was more popular than now. I think now it's more just steaks, meats, and...
I mean, not everything was as available then as it is now.
Those things are cheaper.
You couldn't be you know what they say, that beggars can't be choosers, right?
Exactly.
So you just had to eat.
But actually, those parts of animals are the healthiest, they say.
Yeah.
They have the most minerals and vitamins, but a lot of people don't like the taste, unfortunately.
But if I were served anything that you served me, I would happily eat it and say it was delicious.
And you would just complain on the video.
In the video. Somebody asked me to make that. I said, okay, I will do that.
I have a new idea for a video. Delicious.
The best comments are like, if you're not happy with our food, go back to the USA and be happy there and eat your... Yeah, I get comments like that from time to time.
Even though that 90% of your videos are positive ones, actually.
Yeah. But the minute I complain, the minute I criticize Poland, get out of here.
But those have the most views.
They do.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the most comments.
You have to pray for haters.
Indeed.
The more haters you have, the more successful you are.
Right?
Yeah.
It is true. But it's been really good for me too, because all of this criticism, I've become numb to it, sort of, right?
Did you think about creating a series of videos of you preparing Tex-Mex?
That's an interesting idea, right?
Because I would be interested to watch, remember when Rick was in Częstochowa, he would often invite me and some friends, and we would go to his house and he would cook us some Mexican, American.
And I follow Rick on social media, on his Instagram, and I know that when he was in Ukraine, before the war broke out, he was doing the same thing over there. So he kind of continued what he did here. And I forgot the city that you were in. Sorry, Rick, but somewhere. You remember the city that we're in?
No, I lost contact with Rick.
Yeah.
Long time ago, probably when my daughter was 1, so 2016, something like that, basically.
Yeah. But I know when that war came out, it hit him, it affected his area, and he was airlifted out and went back to the States. Yeah. So, hopefully things settle down.
Yeah, but that's an idea for you, I think, the cooking show. Because, people would like to try.
My wife and I, from time to time, have a crazy idea.
We can be sitting there, and after we finish, we can eat.
You can invite us, and we will just eat. Yeah.
Oh, gosh,
but for me, vegetarian.
The vegetarian version.
He's a crazy one, like I mentioned.
He's right behind me, breathing down my neck right here.
What is a typical vegetarian Texan food?
There's
a lot of course
such thing.
You know,
they have
salad.
No, but
Mexican salad.
Side dish.
You've got the wrong topic with me on vegetarianism. I'm a meat eater all day long, right?
But I think I'm not sure, but maybe some kind of.
You have to go to California.
Some kind of tortilla, some kind of burrito
some tofu
from
or something, right? Oh, maybe. Yeah. It's possible.
I heard it's very popular there. It could be Mexico, but I think it's similar, yeah? It could be similar.
Definitely you would find it, especially in Austin. Austin is where a lot of the California people are moving to. It's like the Silicon Valley of Texas. So you would find everything your heart desires in Austin.
I actually got this t-shirt from guy from California, my brother-in-law. Nice. They are living in England, but he's originally from California, so I'm not hating on California, I'm just joking, guys.
No, there are good people. There are really good people in California. It's a beautiful state. I would like to take the kids on trip to the Wild West.
Yeah.
Go through Arizona, New Mexico.
Yeah, I've heard that actually it's the most similar to Portugal.
Yeah.
The weather and the surrounding the environment is California-like. California and Portugal are very similar.
Our last holiday in February, we went to Morocco, and I could not believe how much Morocco reminded me of the American West.
Yeah,
pretty much from Arizona, Vegas, that way, the mountains, the climate, very much like Morocco.
Dry and hot.
Yeah.
I like dry.
But the town's not.
No, very different way of cleanliness and so on. Yeah, but it's good to travel.
You want to get there. You're on the way. Part of California on the way.
Oh gosh, we're going to do that trip. That'll be fun.
Yeah, guys. I also saw on your channel that you are collecting money to take the whole team to States.
We got invited. Somebody from YouTube said, "Hey, we would like you to come. We would love to play against your team." And but they didn't offer to pay for anything. So I said, okay, that's going to mean raising some big time funds. So it's been tough. It's been challenging to raise the money. We need about $2,000 US per person.
And
we need 18 people.
Just the trip, then
36,000, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to contact companies and other individuals that might like to help us out, and we'll just see what the parents can do.
Do you have some kind of zrzutka.pl and stuff like that?
Zrzutka.pl indeed, and also GoFundMe.
Okay, so we're gonna put those links.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I'd appreciate that. If anybody wants,
we don't have much viewers, but
I think it.
It just takes one person.
But maybe the best way would be just to contact some big sport companies like. Decathlon or something like that. I think they support a lot of these kind of actions.
4F, the Polish
4F, that could be good, right? It's really, I think that I don't know the income levels of the parents of these kids that I coach, but I assume that, to be very diplomatic, they need some help, right? We need some help to get them there. Just medical insurance in the USA, the flight to the USA, $1,000 at least. Yeah, place to stay, food. Just came back. You cannot eat in the U.S. for less than $12 a meal. So times that many people, times 3, it adds up quickly. Yeah. But I do believe we can do this. I'm going to do everything to make it a reality. And we'll see what the parents can come up with, right?
Yeah.
I would like to just kind of ask each one, what can you do? And see how much we have at the end of the day. And
that would
be a yes or no. But that would be great for them to see. I would show them Houston. I'd show them Austin, maybe Dallas. So rent 2 buses and just go. It would make me happy just to see the joy on their faces.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, that would be great.
How can you compare, for example, the sports level of these kids? Because they're not doing it since they're born.
That's a great question, and I'm both excited and terrified to see how they play against similar age kids in Texas. Mm-hmm. I assume the level in Texas is higher. Okay, because that's their sport.
Probably, because it's natural for them.
But I don't think that we're going to be destroyed. I think we will give them a good game.
Okay.
They're coached well. They train well. And, it's...
But also the playing against those teams can, move them to different level, and also give them idea in their head where they are and where they can be.
Yeah, and I definitely, during that time, I want to have an integration time with those kids and our kids to kind of get together. Most of them can speak basic English, so that'll be okay. And if all goes well, I want to invite these Texas kids to Katowice to play with us, right? So this could be a really nice thing for everybody involved. Mm-hmm. So there is absolutely no selfish ambition on my side. I've been to Texas. I've been many times. To see my team, that I've been coaching these kids since they were 6, 7 years old, to see them now as teenagers, 13, 14, 15, to be able to come back from Texas and be like, wow, we played in Texas. We played all over.
Maybe you could offer this trip for other people for double the price as an English, conversation experience. And this way you could finance and
that's a very good idea.
To kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
That's right. That's right. I would just need somebody to babysit all these kids while we're there, so I can do my teaching and get away. But I'm surprised that I'm this excited about it. I really want this for them. It's not about me. It's not about my kids. It's about them. And being able to organize it would be fun.
We are rooting for you. Hope we're gonna be able to help in at least tiny way. Okay, I guess we have to finish because we're kind of
over 1.5 hours.
Yes,
good job. I think you have a lot of material here.
It's our longest podcast so far.
Once again, we remind I love my Poland. It's love my Poland or I
love my Poland.
Love my Poland channel.
We're gonna
put the link
put links
below.
under, and you're gonna send us your GoFundMe and Rzutka.
Sure. I'll do it as soon as I get back today.
Nice.
So yes,
Very nice idea.
Poland is a nice country. Texas is a nice place, I bet. Maybe one day we're also gonna see Texas.
You're welcome to come and watch us and be with us if you want to, assuming we go, right? It'll be March of
Well,
next
I
year.
know also there's in Houston, it's a great boxing club, the Ronnie Shields. The coach there, he's one of the best. One of my fighters he was hoping to go this summer, so who knows, maybe he's gonna go in August to Texas. That's his plan.
Definitely. That would be fun. You should do it, definitely. And invite him here. Say, hey, Ronnie, he's living? Or he's living. Okay.
Yeah.
Never know. Somebody's just named after somebody and I'm not sure of it.
Yeah. Okay. That something didn't change.
Exactly.
Last I checked, he's still alive.
Bite my tongue. Yeah. All right.
Okay, Russ, thank you very much for
it was
joining us.
so good being here talking with you guys. Nice meeting you.
Thanks a lot.
Nice English too, guys. Really appreciated that. That was
and
fun.
now we're going to have a lot of information about... He's going to be hating us, we made mistake here and there and there.
No way.
Nobody's understanding.
No way. I'm just glad we got to do it in English and I didn't have to suffer through Polish. So
Next time we're going to do it in Polish.
Okay. On your channel.
On my channel, okay. All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you. Dzięki. Do zobaczenia.
Na razie.